Okay, we all sorted that out now. All right. That was the Fun Boy 3, of course, with The Tunnel of Love, of course, which is a great record, and no one would ever feel guilty about enjoying that. Apart from, Terry Hall was in and Sean Rowley's in. Do you feel guilty about enjoying your own tunes sometimes?
I didn't enjoy that at all.
But if you did enjoy one...
If I did enjoy one,
maybe that wasn't the
guilty.
perfect example. You wouldn't?
No.
But you feel, all right, in that case then, which you didn't enjoy, do you feel guilty for making it in the first place?
No.
Right. Does guilt enter your life? Which may be a broader question that I should start with.
No, not a bit.
You see, this is it, because Terry is a huge fan of these records.
Well, let's give an introduction.
Well, can I just say something to Terry while we're here?
All right.
Just on this issue, is that I came to see you at the Cargo Club last year when you did that gig with Mushtaq, and it was utterly, magnificently, splendidly brilliant.
Thank you.
I did mean to sort of write a note or something like that, but of course I never got round to, so here we are.
Can I just give one of the rules out to the three of you here? I'm not a headmistress, you're not going to the toilet, you never have to preface saying anything with, can I say something? Because that's very much why the microphones are stuck in front of your faces. I just want to get that all clear to everyone.
Okay.
That
can I just say something?
No, you can't, actually. In your case, you can't.
Well, I feel I have to preface it because I don't like to be sycophantic. But I do like to be sycophantic.
Do your best.
Yeah, but obviously you did. The album is called Guilty Pleasures, which Sean's compiled. What's your input into it, actually, Mr. Hall?
Well, I came across Sean's show. I was on the Westway going to West London, and I pulled over because the first time I heard it, and I was just sat there for 40 minutes thinking, if I hear a Lessie, then I'm in. And I heard a Lessie. And then Sean asked me on the show.
I love the way you can't actually drive and listen at the same time. You have to pull over to listen.
I actually can't reverse and listen.
I can see that.
The last time I did that, I hit a skip.
But were you reversing down the Westway?
No, I just pulled over near the Marylebone Town Hall, Red Route.
Which is very near the station where Sean was actually broadcasting from.
So
but
it
was because you were overcome with excitement, wasn't it? With the music.
And what was the particular track he was playing that made you so emotional about this?
No, it was just that I can't remember. It could have been Gallagher and it could have been something, and I just thought, I know that for ages. Right. And then I just got into the show on the hard shoulder.
I think they should have this part of the driving test. They should put something like Dancing Queen on, and then say, I'd never have learnt to drive because I was like, for God,
I would have written off a lot of hire cars if it had been reversed round a corner, up a hill, to, for example, a Lessie. Now, can I just say something, Terry? What is your input into this album? Like I asked a minute ago.
Okay, so then, then Sean asked me to DJ with him at a club, and we've just been sort of swapping record ideas, and I think
the track listing is based on a lot of records that both myself and Terry are big fans of.
And so they're records that you feel you shouldn't like, and you do despite your own better judgment.
Basically, what happened was because of the radio station that I broadcast on, which is BBC London, I was given an evening show, and they said to me, look, you can't go to, you've got to play it safe a little bit and everything. And I walked away thinking, well, this is going to be quite difficult.
Play that about rubbish, because Terry's a danger on the road and we want him to be a lay-by.
And at that point I thought, well, if I do that, I'm going to end up sounding like the bloke on the end of the pier, and just rattling out these sort of very, not obvious songs.
Tell him the thing, because Sean lives in Brighton. There was...
as you were talking about the DJ on the end of the pier, I heard him deliver an absolute classic once, and it was the day before Christmas Eve, and I was walking down the pier, and there was no one on the pier. It was like howling down, like really, really grim weather conditions. It was 4 o'clock, it was pitch black, and he was playing Wizard, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, and he back announced it by saying, well, you wouldn't really want it to be Christmas every day. Well, you get fed up with the turkey. I mean, turkey's nice once or twice a year, but like every day.
We're all an inch away. In fact, the very station you're on, and he's a very fine DJ, but Gary Crowley, Phil Jupiter, I used to be on that station, and I'm sure people could ring in with really embarrassing things I've said. Phil Jupiter said this thing to me once, and it made me laugh so much, and he said, no, someone said that to me. Call the radio police. There's a nutter in the studio. Anyway, back to these old rubbish records that you've had to fill the nighttime hours with.
So the twist was, let's call it guilty pleasures, literally what happened was you do a radio show and you get the only way you really know if people are listening is if they actually phone into the station. And so we were doing this, and I said, well, as you said, give us a call, email us, text us in with your guilty pleasures, and it was like a response I'd never ever seen before. And I just thought, hang on, there's certain buttons being pushed with certain records here.
Yeah. People like rubbish. I think you'll find that.
But okay,
look at the papers. Watch the telly.
We are actually going to end up in this could be nothing more than a two-way debate that doesn't go anywhere. But to state the case,
nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
To state the case, by the way, to state the case for these records, the feeling was that these records. Okay, so we live in this world now where the 100 best album lists get delivered each and every issue of Q magazine. We now know that the Stone Roses is the most important British album of all time. We are told these things. It's the Nick. I know, but it's the Nick Hornby-isms. The top 10 lists. All of these things, and the thing is that all of these records, these records that we've gathered together on the compilation, have literally been written out of.
I see what you're saying, that people have dictated our tastes towards what they think is their great taste.
Exactly.
I've got to say, though, those people seem to have better taste than you, because you're dictating taste with a load of old rubbish.
No.
Oh, look at the fierceness.
No.
He's in a lay-by now. Getting passionate.
Here's my question. What I don't quite get about
let Terry say his defence.
For example, I just passed Lulu, and I don't know. Growing up, you have this vision of Lulu, like boom, banga, bam, boom, and then she did the work with Take That, which. And
she was just defending Elton John and Sting.
But she's not just. She did one of my favourite covers of all time, which is "Man Who Sold the World."
I've not heard that.
That was magnificent. And to cover Bowie is pretty difficult, I think, especially Fame. But that version of "Man Who Sold the World" is fantastic. But it's a sort of hidden.
It sounds good. Yeah,
it's hidden.
Yeah, it was a massive old hit, and we've played it earlier on in the show. But thanks for the passion.
Did you play it?
Yeah, you were probably driving. You couldn't listen. You're probably coming in there.
In the car.
You have the Olympics on.
But how massive it? No, but
major pile-up as Lulu comes on radio near Terry Hall.
God.
He's very camp today, isn't he?
I was just thinking that.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
It's like having Boy George in the studio. Welded to Dale Winton.
You see, you might have a problem with this, because perhaps this now leads us into another side of the guilty pleasure. There is an element of gay about this. Definitely. And we feel quite comfortable by saying that.
Right.
There is a slight gayness.
What you're saying then is that gay people only like rubbish records.
No, not at all. And
there is an element of that, it's true.
These are quite soft records.
No, there is an element of that. There's a lot of bad disco played for your homosexual crowd.
Yeah, but then I think you go into ABBA and Kylie and stuff, and that's a different route.
Yeah, no, but you can't deny that there are gay clubs that...
So is that another volume to come out? Gay guilty pleasures?
That's... no.
I'm working on it.
Yes.
Although Terry's turned gay throughout the show. Or not even gay, just like stereotype John Inman.
I've been to Italy. And...
What's
I going to say? I've had a week in Italy.
It's like Frankie Elder about the catchphrases at the moment. Right, listen, pick a rubbish track, because I couldn't even look at it.
You've never... I heard you intro
this,
because you said, I've never actually heard this. So the track is... can we have track 19, please?
All right, then.
Which is Brian Prothero.
If it's no good, I'm taking it off. If it's no good, we've given you the plug and everything, and we've told people that you're more than welcome to like Oh Laurie by Leslie or January.
Storm in a Teacup by the Fortunes is I'm not saying a good song, but just on a nostalgia front, which I know you don't go along with, but I do remember, because that was just at the time when I first started listening to the charts and stuff, about 1971.
This is the difference. This is my argument: is don't have nostalgia, just have a good tune.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have the Man Who Sold the World. Anyway, I'm going to listen to this with open ears for about half a minute. What's it called?
It's called Pinball by Brian Prothero.
Right, all excited. I'm sorry about that. I was distracted with some emails and everything. I let it go on for far longer than it actually should have done. I was actually reading the emails and I had to mentally pull over, because that was just so poor. Although I have to say, I do think I had... If anyone went to school with me, we had a metalwork teacher called Mr. Prothero, I didn't particularly like, and I think his name was Brian Prothero. That might have put me off in the first
well,
place.
if you let it go on, there was a whole thing about welding coming up and soldering and stuff, but, that was the interesting bit of the
But
record.
Terry...
He ruined my technical drawing career, I've got to say.
Terry had... well, you met him, didn't you?
Didn't really meet him, stalked him.
Is this going to be one of Terry's name drops now?
Yeah, this is a good one.
Terry with all his number one records and his legendary status. Yeah, I met Brian Prothero once nearly.
Go on.
No, I stalked him on South Moulton Street, and then Sean did the do on Thursday, and he was standing behind me in the queue, and...
You recognised him?
Yeah, because, this record came out on Chrysalis, and we signed two-tone label to Chrysalis,
right?
And it was always like a great thing for me. But then mid-80s, he started doing...
Sorry, I would have cut Terry off earlier. I was reading the emails again. Is there any more to this? So anyway, you nearly met Brian Prothero.
Yes, once, twice.
There's
Twice.
There's
yes.
sorry, we
like the Stan character in the Eminem song.
The reason I was reading the emails was because someone said that the Kinks track I played earlier on, Misty Waters, had never been out before, apart from on a bootleg. But they said, P.S. I bought Pinball by Brian Prothero when it came out, and I still like it.
Yes.
So you're wrong twice. There you go.
Well, I still like it. I bought it when it came out, but it's like you've got to get over that mental thing, really, and just absorb it. And it's like with Alessi, two brothers, hair, and I used to stare at this sleeve, and I was gutted.
They were very pretty. I remember Alessi. They were like models, weren't they?
But you get a vision. I've carried it for 25 years of a Hawaiian tape-up and flip-flops and then Sean said they were coming over, and he said, they're married with kids. How does that work? I had two gay brothers on my wall.
Oh, that is a horrific image of gay incest I've never even heard of. Has that ever happened? It must have happened somewhere along the line. You'd think, maybe with a rabbit or something would have tried it out first.
No.
He'd married.
And the other one married Larry, who was his brother. If anyone's compiling the musical The Alessi Story, don't go on our facts for the show, basically. You know what?
So once you describe it, then the record's brilliant.
Should we have a go? Should we have a go
spin on it?
I've got to say, I mind this one least of all the ones I know on the album, but just nostalgia. I sort of think, yeah, that was a brilliant summer. What was it, 66, 77, 77? 76, the hottest summer on record.
Yeah, the year of punk.
I was 9 years old.
This was the record that I wanted to buy.
Can we have a bit of Storm in a Teacup at some point?
Yeah, I'm going to play.
Go with Alessi.
I'm going to play a bit of Alessi. I might even play it all if you lot can distract me enough. Be like the magician's assistant, and if you can distract me, I'll play it all, and then I'll put on something proper. So just because we're not on your local radio at night now. So.
I'd like to stay.
Is this it?
With you.
It's worse than I remember it. It really is. I'm going to let it run because I know it's. Shut up! I'm going to let it run. We're on now. Shut up! This is why I'm sat here with the controls doing the link on my own. I was trying to. I'm going to let it run, and I apologise for those of you who have to listen to this, but it's probably more annoying if I keep putting a minute of a record on and then off. This gives you time to hate the whole 3.5 minutes of it. No, it's no good to anyone.
See, I don't remember that. I don't have any memory of that, but I must have heard it, so I think I've blotted it out the way kids do that have come from abusive backgrounds.
You did the right thing.
Blot out all the terrible...
It needs to be noted that there is no ironic twist in this. We love these records.
That was one of Chubby Checker's worst ones, I think, the ironic twist. I think he'd really given up on it at that point. All right, fair enough. You love those records, and I can't debate. I can't talk you out of loving those records. That because, of course, it's subjective. It's people's taste. I know Sean has got very, very good taste. He's introduced me to records over the years. Terry's made records that I love, and so I can see that you both have very good taste. And yet, you know these records are bad.
No.
Then why is it called guilty pleasure? You know that you shouldn't really like this.
Exactly. There's a baggage that's attached to these records.
I'm the other way. I'm not trying to be too cool for school, and that I don't like these because I think I shouldn't like them. I don't like them because I just listened to that, and that was just poor.
No.
It's fantastic.
All right. Now, this is my other side of the argument. Sean, I know you're a very big Jackie Wilson fan.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to play a Jackie Wilson record, and I'm going to say, compare the two, and you'll say, oh, well, you can't. And I'll say, exactly. So I've already given my argument, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes for you to think of a better one. But you've got to think of a better one now, because if you go, well, you can't compare Jackie Wilson with Alessi.
Yeah, but there's a baggage that's attached to liking Alessi, and we're sort of...
No, that's not the point. Tell me if this is better than that. Has it annoyed anyone yet? No, it hasn't, and it won't. So that was my choice, and let's just hear a little bit of one of Sean's choices. I don't even know what track I'm putting on. It was a random.
Sure, but how's that?
There you go. Yeah, I think you can see the difference there. We had someone
But look,
saying...
Mark,
there's some emails on your side here. How can you say pinball is crap? It's great.
It's not that convincing an argument, is it, really?
No, how can you
Well,
say
it's
technique?
not.
Yeah.
You're just
But there
coming-
is a
you're
sub. I know
just
there's a
saying
subjective
it's
thing.
not good.
No,
And
but
Here's an interesting point, actually.
That Jackie Wilson version of that was. I think you can say that is better than I'll get them mixed up.
Yeah, and
Gareth Gates.
you can say no about anyone.
No, but the Gareth Gates Light My Fire is not as good as the Jackie Wilson version.
Now, hold
It's
on.
not.
I want to put this argument that I
Mathematically,
gave Sean 3 minutes
scientifically wrong.
to take.
And I said I'm a lucky person because I have ruined my life for Jackie Wilson and the Alessi brothers, and therefore
Right,
I'm a richer
which is better?
person.
Which is better?
I have room for both.
Which is better?
Jackie Wilson is one of the greatest vocalists of all time. So
Which is
where,
better?
Where do you think that's going to go?
So then play the Jackie Wilson. There is actually an interesting argument on your side from John in Birmingham, who says, the thing is, though, which is a very strange way of starting a letter. It's like he was in the middle of an email before that I'd got halfway through reading. The thing is, though, most of us would have, this actually is a good point, most of us would have listened to those records on top of the Pops covers LPs in the 70s and have hardly heard the originals.
Well, the thing is...
There's something there, although the radio was very important then.
The people who like this record, and there are quite a few people who like the Guilty Pleasures album, what they always say to me... No, what they always say to me is when they've listened to it, they've had this weird sort of time warp thing that's happened where they haven't heard these records, in some cases, for nearly 20 years, and they know every single lyric on it. It's lodged in their mind. That is how...
To me, that's friends reunited. It's like, I haven't seen that person for 20 years. And as soon as I met them, I would remember exactly why I haven't seen them for 20 years. They're annoying.
Yeah, or how about bumping into an old friend that you haven't seen for ages and you have a really good night out on the booze?
There's that, but I'm very happy to say, like you were proud to say about having time in your life for that, I'm very proud to say I never had a Lessie as old friends.
Oh, here's my question. See, I think there are already probably quite a lot of albums that there's a whole market that caters for people that like that sort of music, you know, and it's a huge market.
Well, there's like I remember the 70s type thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
This is different.
But there isn't a market for it because I've made compilations of my favourite songs by. You pick them up at services, you pick them up anywhere, and you might find one track out of I Love the 70s that is worth going on to my compilation. I mean, they stick stuff like Martha and the Muffins on, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like there might be one track on one of those compilations that you think, I've been after that for ages, and it's quite hard to get. And I don't collect vinyl, I collect CDs. So it's difficult to hear it. There isn't there was a thing, a school disco thing, which was horrible.
That was horrible.
And it's like it's all built around ABBA and just nasty, really. But it's you know, if there's any guilt, it's like, you know, have you been on a specials tour bus in a bunk with David Cassidy and you didn't come out?
No. You knew that was a no. That was a really unfair question.
No, it could have been a yes.
All right then, hold on. I think so.
Yes.
Just only the wow.
Well, perhaps it was David S.
Hey, talking of the specials, let's talk about some good news for a minute. There's been reports in the papers that you're reforming.
I know.
Is that going to happen?
I don't think so.
Right, there you go. Because I was on the tour bus once, I remember, with David Essex in the bunk. Sorry, I missed some of that story.
Yeah, but no, specials...
David Cassidy.
Nice thing with specials is we're all talking to each other again after 20 years, and we're all meeting up and having drinks.
It's friends reunited.
Almost.
Do you think if Jerry hears this and your love of this music, then
He'll deny I was ever in the specials.
The reform is definitely out the window.
So is that
There'll be a lucky
diplomatic?
like it. There'll be a mooder-like in the band. There'll just be some grumpy bloke
Is that a
facing the ground.
diplomatic no comment then, Terry? Is that a politician's no comment, or is
I'm up
that
for anything at the moment.
No, that was completely the opposite. He's become so Inman today. No, you're not even gay. You're just doing like a 70s stereotype gay.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, fair play to you. Whatever new mood you've decided to hang yourself on today.
It's nice, don't you think?
It is nice.
Don't
No,
you
I
think?
like it. Does it suit me? You're not far off from that. No, you know what? I'm going to play a Bee Gees track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other day I was talking to someone about music and about getting into things you didn't think you'd like, which I actually have found a lot of over the years. Like recently, there was a CD, one of those 80s CDs, and it had the DVD with it, and I thought I'd like to watch this DVD, just nostalgia, just remember some of the why I like these songs or why I didn't like these songs, and I really, really enjoyed, and I'd never liked it before, To Cut a Long Story Short by Spandau Ballet. I just thought, that's a great tune. I don't know, and that was definitely being young and too cool and just going, I hate that.
Well, I think there's always a crossover between anyone.
No, well, whatever. I like it. I'm trying to prove here I'm not trying to be too cool about things. I just thought it was a great record and it was a very poor video. But I was talking to someone about it the other day and I said, I really love the early Bee Gees. Yeah. And he looked at me like, no, come on now, we've been friends.
Well,
but I think a lot of people haven't heard them and they just decide that they're the Bee Gees.
That's right. And I think this is a very good point. And they are. And
that was my link into getting the record on, so we can get into the news. But have you got more to say?
Well, I did actually interview.
Well, obviously, I meant don't say anything more because.
Well, then don't ask.
So it turns out you would have had half a minute to tell your story. I can't remember what it was.
Well, I told you.
What was it?
Well, interviewing Robin Gibb and just telling him how genius he was as a songwriter, and he actually thought I was taking the mickey out of him because they've got this naffness that's been applied to them over the years.
Oh no, early Bee Gees, very highly recommended. You can buy them in. They're actually a petrol station purchase.
Yeah,
you can buy them on those old compilations that are trying to trick people into going, this is the Bee Gees you like. Yeah. Well, in fact, they trick them into buying a much better album. That particular track was In My Own Time, and the first couple of Bee Gees albums, very like the sort of lost Beatles albums in a way. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC. You're listening to Radio 2, I'm Mark Lamarr, sitting in for Jonathan Ross for the last time until, I don't know, probably Christmas or something, I don't know. Mark Still, as ever, is with me, and not as ever, although actually Terry's on nearly every time we do this show. Terry Hall's here, and Sean Rowley, who's brought his rubbishy record with him. This is a terrible advert for you, because you're a DJ and you're a very good DJ, and now, you're on a bigger show and a bigger station, and you're going, I just play like a lessee, really, that's all I'm really.
Yeah, there is another side to me that does, in theory, hopefully, I would like to think that there's an element of credibility in the music that I feature, and a lot of it being contemporary music as well, a lot of new stuff, and really get excited.
Sure, you have
the most important thing,
generally.
as with you, Mark, is to go, if you're going on the radio, is the thrill of actually being excited about a record that you're really into, and then playing it and sharing it, and.
Sean, well, let's just tell people what it is. That Sean is the compiler of Guilty Pleasures. And is the show called that? Is your radio show called that?
No. It's nothing more than a little section within the show that features these records. And people like Terry, who are huge fans of these records.
Who you brought along to add some credibility to you.
No, it's actually my first line of defence.
Lacklustre.
I thought you're not
exactly.
going to be as nice.
Yeah, lacklustre
you're going to give me
argument.
a load of old kicking on this record.
At least you're being yourself. He's like so embarrassed about this record. He's altered his whole sexuality. I don't know what he's playing at.
So it's just one section in the show. That's quite handy, because the thing is, with the radio, you're in the room.
I don't mind you being gay, Tim. It's just I'm not. I know your wife and your kids.
Where's this come from?
I'm not saying this as an anti-gay thing at all. If you know me, you know that wouldn't be the case. But I'm just saying for your wife and kids, it's just something we should get straightened out.
No, seriously, Mark.
I don't mean straightened out in like a concentration camp way. I mean, it's. This is what it is. I've never seen.
I don't
you
think it's
happy
gay.
before.
It's camp.
No,
it's a different thing. I think.
But I've had years of trying to play people records that I think are just brilliant, and people just say no, they're not very good. And then
so when I put my gay voice on, they find me more approachable. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's happy. Is what he's saying.
Happy.
But I've never seen you like this. That's all I'm saying.
Because I'm happy about this record.
All right, good. All right. You don't sound. You sound angry now.
No.
You sound like a big militant going to out someone outside the Houses of Commons. You don't sound like.
See, I think, Mark, there might be something going on here with, perhaps you're the one who's confused about your sexuality.
Oh, nice try.
Well, he's got a point. He's always the one.
Yeah, why didn't you dare me to eat my own bogies as well? Oh, that was pitiful. It's not that short. Terry came in and we all said it. He's acting very camp today.
He's happy.
I've been on holiday. I'm really happy, and when
I'm going to kick that right out of you.
No, but when I make a record and release it, I'm not very good at promoting it. But with this, it's Sean's record, but I feel a part of it because
very much
I found a common link. Really, it's lovely.
It is one of the joys of doing a compilation. I've done a few myself. Is that you can say to people, "This is fantastic," and you're not being arrogant. You're just saying, "Look, these are my favourite 20 records that I've put on this particular disc." And amongst Sean's favourite 20 records, January by Pilot, and a lot. I'm sure it is
Gallagher and Peter Skillen.
Oh, what a tune!
Yeah, that's what they used to say.
That's an amazing record.
Well, I'm going to play one more track and then I'm going to let the.
I quite like to say you don't
agony
like by
end.
Colin Brunston.
There are the odd
Look,
tune
I'm
on this
trying to be.
I like. No,
I'm trying to be the moderate wing here. You're the militant anti-guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a split between us in a minute, and you're going to say, "Oh, he's a sellout." He likes one of them.
I do like a few of them. Of course, I like
do you
David
like?
Essex, Going to Make You a Star.
Yeah.
And I like the what was the yellow track that was
See,
on here as well?
when I spoke to Mark about this a couple of weeks ago, and Terry's actually been out for a drink with Mark, and you spent an hour with him.
Do you remember when we had that wine? I tried to tell you what me and Sean had done.
Yeah, no, you told
And
me.
you didn't.
Yeah, but you didn't.
I wouldn't listen to it.
No.
You didn't.
There you go. Yeah, no, I remember. I don't do these things on there, this name dropping thing. That's why I didn't say that we'd been out.
No.
But I remember you told me that, and I thought, well, that's a shot.
I had a thing a few weeks ago when I was sort of one of the
Terrible
things
idea,
where you
though.
go back to a record that you haven't listened to for 20, 30 years, and I thought I've still got my Emerson, Lake and Palmer albums, which I'm not particularly proud of, but they're there, and I think they're a part of my history, and that's what I was listening to when I was 14.
Yeah, I
and
hate that. I wouldn't
No, well, there was a
near
couple
that.
of tracks. I thought, actually, I'm going to play a track that I haven't listened to for 25 years, and I remember it being quite good. Put it on, rubbish.
Yeah. Well, that's back to what happened again with the choice, which is the final choice from the Guilty Pleasures album, and it's been a guilty displeasure for me. I do feel very guilty that I've inflicted this on some people. This is Carol Bayer Sager. I don't remember this song. You're Moving Out Today.
You've just played Dylan at the top of the show, and this woman, but this was pretty much her only hit, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And Dylan was going through a writer's block at the time, and he said, "There's only one person I want to write with," and it was Carol Bayer Sager, and this is her.
And this is a good tune.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
record.
Will you stay? Will you not talk anymore, but stay till the end of it, Terry? Because I don't want to cause any major accidents.
Yes.
All right. Did you drive in today?
No.
Oh, well, all right, then you can go. This is Carol Bayer Sager from the album Guilty Pleasures, which is in the shops now, and I'd imagine we'll stay there. It's weird, I remember it being much longer when it came out, but there you go.
I have to
That was,
say, in Sean's defence, that he was angling for that being took off as well.
Exactly.
I didn't want to. I'm feeling
I think
very
roundabout
uncomfortable.
pack up your
here.
rubber duck was the
No.
sort of final
The only
straw.
reason I was saying, look, if you want to take it off, because I'm feeling very, very uncomfortable.
What did
about
you
this
leave
all.
off?
Just, what were the things that you couldn't get
Viva
for the
España?
compilation?
The lead track was
Macarena.
Was going to be. No, see, you're missing the point. there.
No, I think you're missing the point of having
Birdie song?
No,
No.
This is where you're getting it so wrong.
If you'd had lyric sheet printed with the album, there would have been the words "push pineapple, shake a tree" in there somewhere.
No.
Anyway,
wrong.
we've
This
done
is-
your
this
last.
is
We've
not
done
it.
your last link was before that record, and then you had that, and you really did not have any
Proved
redress
how
after
wrong
that.
you got this album.
Hey, I'll prove you wrong. There you go. You're wrong. We've got to move on, and that's why I said that you can go now. After
Well, I'd
this
like to
song.
say thank you, Mark, for
I know-
your words of encouragement.
I know the
on
song's
our
still
album,
going
Guilty
on,
Pleasures.
so in a sense you can still stay here, but your talking will have to be off air. And I'm going to play a trout, and then I'm going to have something which I'm just going to have to cleanse my palate.
Could we put some specials on?
Huh?
Could we put some specials on at some point?
Well, I don't really believe the lyrics now. Now he's just inverted his whole lifestyle. They used to mean so much to me, but maybe later on we'll see. I've got to do this. Bye.